Hi folks, and welcome to Truck King. Sitting next to me is the brand new GMC Yukon Denali Ultimate, and in this video I'm going to look to answer two questions. First of all, how does it handle out here in the snow? And second of all, is this SUV truly worth over $100,000? Let's go find out. Under the hood of this GMC Yukon, you're not going to find any new fancy powertrains. This is simply a big old V8. That's a 6.2 liter, making 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, and it is sent through a 10-speed automatic transmission and four-wheel drive. And more importantly, there's a four-wheel drive auto setting, and that's something we're going to test real soon for you. But before that, just take a look at this Yukon. When you go for the Denali Ultimate, you get what they call Vader Chrome accents. And yes, Vader Chrome is a nod to Darth Vader and that blacked out helmet. I think it's pretty nice looking. You're also getting a set of unique 22-inch wheels. You're only gonna find that on this Yukon. So why don't you jump in the comments now and let me know, what do you think of the styling on the Denali Ultimate? Before I climb in the back, let me just quickly talk about car seats because I have two of them installed right now. So you do get captain's chairs here in the Denali Ultimate. Both of these in the second row have lower latch anchors, but be aware in the third row, you're only getting one set of lower latch, although you are getting three top tethers. So as long as you seatbelt install on the one side, you should be good. And the other thing I want to show you, look at all this adjustability. I love second rows nowadays just because you can adjust. That's 4-6 inches at least. So if someone big is up front, you can give them more space, or if someone big is in back, you can give them more space. And now someone big is going to climb in and show you the second and third rows. So second row, I have loads of knee space and just enough headroom. If I kind of slunk down a little bit, I'm okay. So that's actually a little surprising. You do have this huge panoramic sunroof. That's one of the reasons for that. But I do fit just okay back here. I will also show you that if I grab here, again, tons of adjustability, and I do like that. And I'll go all the way back. Now, something else I want to complain about while I'm looking at it are these screens. Two things about them. First of all, when you install a rear-facing child seat, these things actually can get in the way. And look at all this space that they're actually eating up. That is space that sometimes the rear child seat can use. Second of all, because of the microchip shortage, General Motors got rid of one of the features they used to have in these screens, and that was an app where I could mirror my phone to the screens. They got rid of that. They never brought it back, which is disappointing. So now the only way to hook things up here is with the HDMI port. Of course, that's possible. I've got my Amazon Fire Stick in there, but it's just annoying. It would be nice to have a built-in DVD player, some built-in entertainment, or at least bring that feature back. Now let me climb in the third row. So these guys fold and tumble, which gives me loads of space. That's nice. And we'll bring this guy back down. And there we go. So I actually maybe have a hair more headroom back here. That's surprising, but again, no sunroof back here. And I have enough knee room. When General Motors redesigned its full-size SUVs, the priority was making these third rows big enough for full-size adults. And I absolutely fit back here. I could honestly ride back here for a decent amount of time. My knees are a little higher than I'd like, but not that bad compared to most third rows. So yeah, as backs go, this is a good one. Now let's see how I can get out. Fold, tumble, and here we go. Whew. Now I want to demonstrate four-wheel drive auto because I think it's a smart system. So first, this is going to be kind of obvious, but I'm going to take off in 4 high. In 4 high, the truck is going to send all of its power to all 4 wheels, and I should get a fairly smooth takeoff with minimal slip. I also do have snow tires on today. I appreciate that. Here we go in 3, 2, 1, takeoff. Okay, interesting. So I'm just in normal mode and I left traction control on. I definitely did have tire slip. It actually was four-wheel tire slip. So the traction control cut in, it cut my power, and then I took off, and once the power was to the ground, it really took off hard. So now let's go try four-wheel drive auto. And one of the questions you might be asking is, well, why would I want 4 auto? Well, today is actually a perfect example of why you would. I'm out here over on a side road, and it's totally snow covered. It has been plowed, but it's icy and snowy. However, the main roads today are entirely dry. Well, they're wet, but they don't have any snow on them, so you're not going to get any slippage. So on a day like today, if you leave your vehicle in 4 auto, it's going to give you the four-wheel drive when you need it, and that is when you're actually in slippery situations on ice and snow. But then it's only going to give you the rear-wheel drive when you're driving on more surfaces that have more grip, like on a regular road. So I just circled around here, and now we're going to go into 4 auto. So what I expect to see here is the rear will slip, but then the truck's going to realize it, reroute the power forward, and we should take off too. I don't know how quickly that's going to happen. That's what we're going to find out. Ready? Okay, here we go. Launching in 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. So I got to tell you, from behind the wheel, that felt maybe like an extra half a second to a second that four-wheel auto took to kind of figure out that it needed to send the power forward. But basically it did it just as quick as four-wheel drive, and that's exactly what you want to happen. You want that system to react really quickly, so in a slippery situation like that, the front wheels will kick in and save you, and they did exactly that. And here we are, folks, out for a drive in this Denali Ultimate. I've got my brother Matthew here today. As some of you may know, my dad is headed south for the winter. He escaped the snow, so I'm going to tab Matt in here for the next couple months to help me out as much as he can.
Perfect timing with all the snow that came down yesterday.
Yeah, right? He just got out of Dodge. So this Yukon Denali Ultimate is kind of a classic recipe, Matt. It's a big V8. It's a classic mechanical four-wheel drive system. We do have 4 low, so we have a transfer case. That four-wheel drive auto, which we already showed off, that's a great setting as well. And it's a big, heavy SUV, so that also means it just drives really nice here in the winter. In the snow, it just plows through. We have winter tires on, so it's helping as well. So far, I haven't found a lot to complain about, but the one thing I want to point out right off the bat is that this is the Denali Ultimate. All of that stuff I just mentioned, none of that comes along with Ultimate. If you just get a regular Denali, you're also going to get this extremely quiet, smooth, comfortable driving experience. Yeah. So when you go Ultimate, essentially, Matt, you're getting the interior. You're getting the way it looks outside, and you're getting everything in here.
The wooden accents in the dash, these nice topographical maps of the Denali Mountains.
Exactly.
All kinds of nice stuff. I mean, these fancy schmancy speakers built into my
You got the speakers right in the headrest, which are pretty cool. The seats as well have stitching in them. So I guess, yeah, at first blush, what's your reaction to the interior? How luxurious do you think it feels?
Having not spent a lot of time in here, but did spend a fair bit of time in that Escalade when we had it recently, this feels comparative to that. And I think that's where I would jump to try and talk about this one right away, is the Escalade interior was really nice. This is also really nice.
Yeah.
And like you said, we've been driving now for a little while, and it's comfortable. It's exactly what I expected this thing to be. It's heavy, it's planted, it's nice. Like, we're driving down a fairly snowy road here, but I'm not like, don't watch that. What? I'm not worried about anything. No. It's gonna get us home.
Totally, and the same for behind the wheel. Like I mentioned, in the wintertime, this thing just feels so heavy and planted. A big part of that too is they switched to independent rear suspension, so there's no more axle back there. That was a big changeover for these SUVs, and air suspension. We got 4-corner air suspension here, so we have all the tricks working to keep this thing so smooth, and then quiet too, right? They make these cabins so quiet now. So all of those luxury boxes are definitely checked.
One thing we have to talk about here today, and this is a today problem, and I can't pin this on GM, and I'm going to kind of go market wide with this one, but when I went to get in on the passenger side here, the step was in about a halfway position, and this is an electric fold-down step supposed to open and close with the doors. I know myself, every time I see one of those in Canada, I say to myself, how long till that breaks? Well, this one on my passenger side is stuck.
It's all gummed up.
It won't come up, it won't go down, it just doesn't know what to do. Could it just need a quick reset? Probably. Could it need, is there something stuck somewhere? Probably. Is there a module that's not happy? Who knows? But like I said, my gripe is not with this vehicle. I'm not going to knock this Yukon for that problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to say electric steps in Canada in general. This is my first experience with one that has finally had a problem, and I'm like, yeah, there it is. I wasn't even surprised.
Yeah.
I said to myself, if I ever bought a vehicle that had it, I'd say, no, take those off, please.
It just picks up all that road gunk and absolutely gums it up. The best thing I could do is just go over there and start booting it to try to get all the
we both
crap off.
tried. We both tried kicking everything off and thinking, oh, something's stuck.
Still not working. So yeah, no, I'll agree with you there. It'd be nice to have a set of fixed steps, which I guess would be technically a downgrade if you ask the dealer to take those off and put fixed steps on. But I agree with you. On this vehicle, you want a step, and you want one that always works. So just put on
because the snow does not escape you, whether you live in the country or the city. Doesn't matter. You're getting the snow in Canada in the winter, so you're not getting away from it. It's not like, oh, in the country I want a fixed part. Nope. If it was me, if it was my money, regardless of the trim, please take those off.
So as a full-size SUV, Matt, I think this one nails it, basically. You got tons of space in the back for full-size adults and for kids. It's got a good tow rating, good payload, nice four-wheel drive system, big V8. All of those things are there, and they work as they should. Where I kind of land on Denali Ultimate, and this is actually for Yukon and Sierra, to be fair. I really like Denali, just like a lot of people do. Denali is a huge percentage of GMC's overall sales. I agree with those people that I like Denali. I don't think I could pull the trigger on Ultimate. I just don't think there's enough here to really make it worth the money. Denali's already good enough in my books. I know that's a personal preference, but that's sort of how I land. What do you think?
I'm in the same boat. There's always those guys out there that want everything. They want all the options. They want the biggest, the best, the newest, the fastest, whatever it is. And that's great.
In those Denali buyers, there's going to be a subset who want to be different Denali buyers, and that's this, right?
Exactly. And I'm with you too. I love the Denali truck. All the different features in here. I've always been a slight GMC over a Chevy guy too. So for me, that GMC Denali setup was always just, that's the one that I want. I mean, this thing, I'm actually, once we're done on camera here, I'm going to hop in the back and watch a movie on the way home.
Yeah, it is a nice setup. And if you do go Denali Ultimate, there's no doubt you are getting a gorgeous interior. You just have to make sure that's worth it for you. So guys, that's it for this one. Why don't you go below into the comments, let us know what you think of this Yukon Denali Ultimate. While you're down there, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit join to become a member of Truck King, and then come right back here to the channel to see what we're testing next. See ya.